Why am I making this video? Because I neglected the intake of omega-3s because I was on a budget. Then I ate just basically meat and eggs, and well, seafood is quite expensive here. And then I thought, yeah, I could get away with it. And my latest blood work showed actually that I was depleted in omega-3, so I decided to add this food back in higher quantities. And I just wanted to share in case you experience similar symptoms, so you could just try this and look what happens. I was experimenting with high doses of extra thiamine because it turned out that I have very possibly a deficiency in thiamine, or rather it's not a deficiency. I came by this information through Elliot Overton and what he is sharing on his site, so go and check it out. So he writes, fortunately, scientists have provided some pretty solid data that these issues can be bypassed by giving megadoses, sometimes up to 1000 to 2000 milligrams of thiamine, either pre or post injury, such as in the TBI or toxicity. The authors of one paper summed it up perfectly. Pharmacologic doses of thiamine can be used to protect the cell. Cell injury can be prevented by thiamine. I am now convinced that thiamine in high doses provides unique benefits that no other nutrient can, and this is particularly applicable in the multi-system complex illness. This goes far and beyond addressing deficiency. In fact, dietary intake of thiamine is mostly irrelevant in complex health conditions. A lot of people are not deficient in the traditional sense, yet they need high doses of thiamine. Why is this? We need to change the way we look at nutritional deficiency and requirement. Complex illness involves chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. When these factors go on uncontrolled, the enzymes involved in energy metabolism are inhibited. The main enzyme is alpha-ketoglutarate dehydrogenase, which is a rate-limiting enzyme in energy generation. When this is inactivated, energy metabolism slows right down. Another enzyme which is inhibited is pyruvate dehydrogenase. When this goes on chronically, cells become dysfunctional and go on to die. In the face of unrelenting oxidative stress and inflammation, dietary levels are not sufficient to reverse the inactivation. Someone can be eating a lot of thiamine, but it is irrelevant. Because as long as the enzymes are inactivated, they are functionally deficient on a cellular level. What is the single best way to reverse the metabolic block on these enzymes? and stimulate cells to produce energy as they should. High doses of thiamine. High-dose thiamine stimulates the enzymes in spite of inhibiting factors, which are present in most complex chronic health conditions. In this way, the nutrient can be used to effectively counteract not only a deficiency, which occurs in some people, but also to counteract the detrimental effects of oxidative stress and inflammation on energy metabolism. So there you have it. Never forget the thiamine. And I hope I will finally get over that hump. When I started carnivore, I ate a lot of salmon, mainly the smoked salmon. I really loved it, and I ate it every day. But it turned out smoked salmon is a processed food, even if it's animal-based, it's still processed, and that's why it is high in histamine. And yeah, I have a histamine intolerance, so I could no longer eat salmon in this way. But you can also just cook it. You don't need to have smoked salmon. Salmon is also an excellent source of B vitamins. This is for 100 grams of wild salmon. So it has B1 thiamine, B2 riboflavin, B3 niacin, B5 pantothenic acid, B6, B9 the folic acid, and B12. So that's good to know. Salmon is also quite high in potassium, especially true for wild salmon. Salmon contains more potassium than an equivalent amount of banana, which provides only 10%. Potassium helps control your blood pressure. It also reduces your risk of stroke. So yeah, I am filling my body with salmon again, and other high omega-3 foods. This fatty fish salmon is loaded with nutrients and may reduce risk factors for several diseases. I like the taste of salmon very much. It's just so yummy.
This is going to be the end of the road for a lot of salmon. The longer the salmon take over their journey upstream, the weaker they become. And these falls present them with their biggest challenge yet. Although the falls aren't very tall, the bears hold the high ground. The salmon make short, exploratory leaps to see where the bears are. But they don't always get it right.
Indeed. And then of course you have oysters. They are very high in omega-3s. Equal-sized serving of Pacific oysters, by contrast to other omega-3 foods, delivers a whopping 1,550 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids. In perspective to salmon, which is often touted as one of the best natural sources of omega-3 fatty acids, contains between 700 and 2,400 milligrams. Yeah, so, I mean, why not eat both, right? That's what I'm doing anyway. But I cook everything, even the oysters. I don't take them in a raw form. Somehow my body reacts a little bit weird when I eat raw oysters, so tolerating oysters is only possible in cooked form, but that's just me. And the diaminase and other anti-diamine factors are not found in oysters. Only shellfish, clams, some freshwater fish, but not oysters. So here is another study I found about oysters, baked versus simmered oysters. When baked, oysters lost about 40% of their thiamine, but the riboflavin, vitamin B2, was hardly affected, although a little passed into the liquor. However, when the oysters were just simmered, there was hardly any destruction of either vitamin, although a portion of each was found dissolved in the liquid. Since I don't bake my oysters but just steam or simmer them, I'm on the good side here. I also cook my eggs by now because eggs are one of the healthiest and most nutritious foods that the body can benefit from. They are full of protein and other minerals that contribute to good health. Some of the health benefits include protecting your skin and eyes from ultraviolet damage, improving liver and brain function, and strengthening your hair and nails. What is biotin? Biotin is exactly what eggs provide. It is a type of B vitamin, also known as vitamin B7, found in a variety of foods, including eggs. Its role is to break down proteins, fats, amino acids, and carbohydrates in the body, converting them into energy that the body needs to function optimally. Biotin contributes to good heart, skin, and brain health. It also strengthens the hair and nails, which explains the reason eggs seem to have the same benefits. Biotin deficiency and eggs. Even though it is a rare condition, deficiency in B7 is possible. There are many different reasons why biotin levels would be depleted. One obvious reason would be that one does not consume foods that contain biotin. Apart from eggs, you can get biotin from organ meats such as liver and kidney. You can also get it from mushrooms, avocado, fish, etc. Deficiency in this vitamin is caused by factors such as the excessive use of alcohol, smoking, prolonged use of anticonvulsant and antibiotic medication, and consumption of many raw egg whites for a long period. That might sound confusing that egg whites can contribute to a biotin deficiency. Research indicates that egg yolks, the yellow part of the egg, are an excellent source of nutrients including vitamin B7. Raw egg white, however, even though it is healthy and full of nutrients itself, contains a protein called avidin, which interferes with the body's ability to use biotin. Avidin binds with the biotin in the intestines and inhibits the body from using it. Eating 2 or more raw white eggs every day for a number of months can lead to a vitamin B7 deficiency. It is important to be aware of that, and this is why I eat cooked eggs now, scrambled eggs, just not raw anymore. So I'm being careful here. I really love scrambled eggs. It's so delicious. I have it in the morning and sometimes also in the evening if I'm still hungry. And nowadays I'm adding a little bit of salmon roe to it. So that's a nice combination. Which brings us to salmon roe, another source of omega-3. This is how salmon roe looks like. The eggs are a little bit bigger than what we know of other forms of fish eggs. And it's really delicious. I have found a form of salmon roe that has no weird ingredients, just salt, and my body can really tolerate it, so I'm happy for that. Salmon roe is a substantial source of omega-3 fatty acids in their EPA and DHA form, and one of the most bioavailable forms. And it's also a very good source of vitamin D3. While some fortified foods offer synthetic vitamin D2, this form of the vitamin is not as bioavailable as vitamin D3. Both sunlight and fatty animal foods such as salmon roe offer the preferable vitamin D3. Among its many important functions, vitamin D3 plays a vital role in the immune system. Research in this area suggests that higher vitamin D levels can reduce the risk of infection and several chronic diseases. It is also an exceptional source of vitamin B12. Salmon roe provides a broad range of important vitamins and minerals, but the most concentrated nutrient it offers is vitamin B12. Salmon roe provides 20 micrograms of B12 and this represents around 333% of the daily intake value. But, well, 100 grams is a lot of salmon roe. I have bought those small glasses and they are 50 grams and I can just eat half of it per day. Anyway, so in other words, alongside organ meats and shellfish, salmon roe is one of the best dietary sources of vitamin B12. So if you have been a vegan for a long time, probably it is a good idea to start with salmon roe if you get back to eating animal foods again. Vitamin B12 has a host of crucial functions in the body and it is particularly important for DNA synthesis and the formation of red blood cells. Salmon roe per 100 gram contains selenium 65 micrograms, which is 93.6%. It contains zinc, it contains potassium, iron, and rich in astaxanthin, which is a carotenoid responsible for the bright orange color of salmon roe. Astaxanthin is a chemical compound found in numerous types of seafood, particularly those with an orange pigment such as lobster, salmon, and shrimp. On the positive side, astaxanthin may have a wide range of possible benefits. For one thing, research shows that astaxanthin helps to increase the skin's UV resistance. Specifically, the study found that dietary supplementation of astaxanthin may protect against UV damage, comparable to exposure to the sun for 1.5 hours in the Japanese summer. Additionally, a further systematic review suggests that astaxanthin may help to protect the liver and fight oxidative stress. Salmon roe is high in the amino acid lysine, offering 6,213 milligrams per 100 grams. Lysine is a major amino acid that plays a crucial role in protein synthesis, immune health, and enhancing mineral absorption. All of them very, very important. So, on a carnivore diet, I would recommend to include salmon roe. Omega-3 deficiency. What are the signs or symptoms of an essential fatty acid deficiency? Although these may not be serious diseases and only symptoms, some signs of omega-3 deficiency can include impairments in learning and attention span, attention deficits, anxiety, restlessness, poor concentration, or poor memory can all develop. Mood-related changes such as irritability, symptoms of depression and anxiety, or mood swings, changes in the appearance of skin, hair, and nails. Skin may become inflamed, dry, flaky, sensitive, or red. Hair can become brittle and thinner. Nails can break easily and be very weak. Dry eyes. Signs of dehydration, including increased thirst and dry mouth, throat. Frequent urination. Joint pain and stiffness. Excessive earwax. Interesting one. Symptoms of allergies such as eczema, asthma, hay fever, hives, etc. That's also a very important one, I would say. So if you take enough omega-3, then your allergies might suddenly disappear. Over time, symptoms can start to develop if the body lacks essential healthy fats or gets too many omega-6s compared to omega-3s. For example, mental health, skin may become dry, and symptoms tied to allergies may emerge. In addition to the symptoms described, omega-3 deficiency can put you at higher risk for health problems such as inflammation, sometimes severe, that's associated with pain, stiffness, and poor healing. Possibly a higher risk for heart disease. Studies have found that people who get omega-3s from eating seafood 1 to 4 times a week are less likely to die of heart disease. Digestive disorders, allergies, arthritis, joint and muscle pain, mental health issues like depression, poor brain development in infants and young children, attention deficit problems including ADHD in children, neurodegenerative and neurological disorders including cognitive decline in older adults, dementia, and memory loss. Omega-3 and kidney function, more evidence of benefit for kidney health. Researchers have found a possible benefit for supporting normal kidney function in omega-3. Polyunsaturated fatty acids could support kidney function, such as inflammatory reduction and reduce blood pressure while lowering triglyceride levels. Serious kidney problems are where the kidneys stop functioning or function in the reduced capacity. Over time, toxins and wastes build up in the bloodstream, causing damage to organs. One of the dangers kidney sufferers face is cardiovascular disease. At 3 months during a study, patients received the active supplement were given an increase in their omega-3 indexes. While there was no improvement in albuminuria, patients maintained their pulse wave velocity, while controls had an increase. Triglyceride levels were also shown to go down in omega-3 individuals. 12 patients in the control group and 14 patients taking omega-3 reported mild gastrointestinal symptoms, but these were quickly diminished once acclimated to the dosage.
Omega-3 fatty acids and how they support kidney health. Now, there's no denying about omega-3s and how good they are and how they support every single aspect of kidney health. Now, the problem is you want to make sure you use the right omega-3. And the two omega-3s that we look at that support kidney health are EPA and DHA. And unfortunately, you just can't get enough of this from food, so you have to use a supplement form, either being a pill or a liquid. Now, when you look at the pills or liquids, there's a big variety on the market, and they're not all the same.
The problem with most fish oils on the market is that aldehydes. Aldehydes cause cancer and neurodegeneration. You get them when you consume an omega-3 algae oil supplement, fish oil supplement, or a seed oil, meaning sunflower, soy, or other such oils. You also get acrolein, which shuts down glutathione, your body's master endogenous antioxidant. There is no difference between algae oil or canola oil. Trash the omega-3s and seed oils. Go animal-based. If you can tolerate it, eat grass-fed butter, one of the healthiest foods. That's from the study Bart Kay and Pim Jansson did on omega-3 fish oils. Many commercially available omega-3 supplements are oxidized at time of consumption. The study identified aldehydes in 8 of 12 products. Aldehydes pose potentially serious health risks, even at very low intake volumes. Some nutritionists recommended fish oil to me that was high in not only fish oil but contained sunflower as the tocopherol ingredient that they put into fish oil nowadays. And it also had lemon vanilla flavor, which is high in histamine. So, even nutritionists don't know about this. You would think they would recommend a product that is really healthy, but it isn't. And sunflower oil turns the most toxic when heated to 180 degrees. Just look at the graph.
A little bit back, this is a study that was actually conducted in 2016 from memory, or 15, one of those two. Anyway, and it was finally published in November of 2018, so that's how long it can take to get stuff through. Anywho, this is the rundown of the study that Pim did in, as I say, 2015-16 or so, where she went to 12 different pharmacies in and around Leicester in the UK where we were living at the time. And she purchased, according to the salesperson's or pharmacist's recommendation, she purchased commercially available omega-3 supplements over the counter, took them away, brought them back to the lab, and what she then did was that she basically cut open the capsules, the gel capsules in which this omega-3 oils were presented out of the bottle that she'd purchased, and immediately then she has added that sample to some various standards and things that you need for the machine that she was using to measure the equipment, the 1H NEMR machine. And then the sample was analysed pretty much, okay, right, we've just opened this capsule, the oil's gone straight into the machine, testing, right, what is in this thing? And what happens is whatever those that packet of photons passes through, it will interact with any substance that is in its way, in other words, the sample. And that sample will absorb photons at specific wavelengths, at specific energies, according to what that particular substance is. And those photons are momentarily held, if you like, by the sample, and then re-emitted again as a photon outgoing. And then the machine reads the outgoing packet of photons that's being emitted by the sample, and then we do what's called a fast Fourier transform on that. For those of you that know something about audio, you'll also understand that one inherently. It's a mathematical way of changing a data set from the time domain into the frequency domain, so that you can look at what's in it. And that's basically what we do. And we say, therefore, on the basis of these photons being spat out, we get this graph, which I'll show you in a tick, through a sample, and it says that's what we can say is in this sample. So it's a very, very accurate, very, very highly scientifically validated method of getting at identifying exactly what chemically is in a sample. Oil down here, here's an omega-9 oil signal, and sort of hidden almost underneath that is your saturated fat signal in there. So that's all in this very narrow range of energy up here. Back here there's a bunch of other things that you'll also find in these oils. No causes for concern until we get all the way right down here where this tiny little square is down here on the left hand side. And what you see is we've now blown that up and it's put up here. And what we see here is a spike here. And this spike here at that ppm energy value, although it's a very, very small concentration, very, very small concentrations of this particular substance, aldehydes, very, very dangerous. They will tear lipid rafts to pieces. They will destroy cell membranes. They will rip shit out of your DNA. They will kill organelles within cells. Really, really dangerous, really bad. So you do not want aldehydes anywhere near your body. There are some aldehydes that are compounded with other things that are less damaging, less dangerous. And Pim is always at pains to point that out. But the particular aldehydes identified, at least in the study, are of the kind that are not the kind you want.
There is actually another source of omega-3, and that's emu oil. It's good after sun exposure. It's very nourishing for the skin. Originally used by native Aborigines for treating infections and sun protection. The practice of using emu oil for skin healing dates back thousands of years in Australia. Emu oil is rich in antioxidants such as vitamin A, D, and E, vitamin K2, essential fatty acids, linoleic acid, palmitic acid, and oleic acid. It's incredibly nourishing for your skin because it is naturally rich in collagen, nutrients, and healthy fats, which makes emu oil regenerative in nature. So, Australian Aborigines have relied on its consistency of healing and therapeutic qualities to survive Australia's harsh climate. From the number of studies conducted, it has been shown that emu oil really does work. It is one of nature's finest emollients and moisturizers. It's well known in the pharmaceutical industries and is currently being used worldwide by sporting bodies. Emu oil has the unique ability to penetrate the layers of skin so essential nutrients can be carried more efficiently deep beneath the surface. Emu oil has an anti-inflammatory effect on the skin and has an anti-degenerative effect on skin cells. Emu oil will build up a natural layer of moisture whilst opening up the pores of the skin, letting your skin breathe naturally. Emu oil is extremely low allergenic, therefore ideal for sensitive skin. You can use it as moisturizer. Emu oil can be used on all parts of your body, hands, arms, face, legs, hair. Great for sunburn also, or windburn. For massage is a great carrier oil, also for arthritis, inflammation, aching muscles, or digestive disorders, that's internally. Taken internally or externally, it will penetrate deeply and work to cut down inflammation, open up blood capillaries, and promote increased blood flow and oxygen to problem areas. This is essential for the healing of muscle and joint problems. Eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis, it will significantly reduce irritation and inflammation of the skin. And you can also use it for bites. It relieves and soothes irritated skin and insect bites. For burns and cuts, it promotes faster healing to these areas with reduced pain and scarring. You can take emu oil internally. What are the benefits? Did you know that oil rendered from the fat of the emu may be a viable substitute for your fish oil capsules? Studies have found that the topical effects of emu oil have shown the decreases of inflammation. A study on the internal use of emu oil to determine the effectiveness in reducing inflammation on the lining of the digestive tract took place at the University of Adelaide in Australia. They found that emu oil was able to reduce inflammation in the lining of the gut and improve the structure of the mucosal membrane. So that's why I am also open to try this one. You have to find one brand that doesn't have any weird substances. What all you need is the pure emu oil and nothing else.